Hello, welcome back to Coffee with the Consultants. I'm Michelle Duss, social emotional consultant with the Starfish Academy in Northport.
And I'm Stephanie Essex, and I am the social emotional consultant at the Starfish Academy in Sarasota. And we're here today to bring you parenting tips and tricks and the time it takes to have a cup of coffee. Oh, we brought a very special guest today. This is Mariana McKinnon. She is the social emotional consultant at the Lilly School. And Mariana and I have been talking. We both really love Lisa Dion. And Lisa Dion has some pretty cool podcasts out there. And she had been talking about something called sharing your calm with your child. And we really loved the idea and we wanted to talk about it a little further. And so Mariana's going to tell you more about this concept of sharing your calm with your child.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. So today has definitely been a very big co-regulation day. So big sharing your calm day here at the Lilly School. And I guess I just want to start by talking about what that means. So I think that a big piece of being able to share your calm is first understanding, like what that would look like, because sometimes we don't really feel calm, but there's a child who needs us to be able to, give them that sense of peace. So I think that could be anything like holding a child, close to you and letting them hear, your heartbeat. Maybe rubbing their back, like in a circular motion. I found that like repetitive movements seem to work really well, like whether that's like kind of going like that with their hair. And I'll often just ask what they prefer. Like, do you like when I rub your head? Would you prefer I rub your back? Using a validating statement like, you're not feeling well, I can see that, or I'm so sorry. Things like that I found are pretty soothing, and it kind of gives them that little sense of like, you see what I'm going through and you're validating it. Okay, I'm all right. I feel like when we are sharing our calm, we're creating an internal balance for kids. And I just feel like if we didn't have that internal balance, it's kind of like asking someone to run a marathon without, eating first or training for that. So I think it's a really big stepping stone to any good day or any, bit of progress with a kid who's got behavioral or emotional symptoms, or just anyone in general. I need co-regulation. And when people share their calm with me, I know Stephanie, oftentimes we've had conversations and I'm not so calm. And you've just kind of like given me that space to open up and validated how I felt. And as an adult, that's been very beneficial to me as well. So I think with any child of any age, it's super helpful. And another thing, so what I was going to say about those anecdotes is that I feel like today's been a really big co-regulation day for the kids here, because two kids in specific, one child had a really bad toothache, and I kind of just sat with her and I let her, cry, and she was really, really upset. And I was just rubbing her back, and I said, "Do you want me to rub your back?" And she said, "Yeah." And then she put the blanket around her and she kind of just snuggled up to me, and I was just rubbing her back for her. And then over maybe 5 minutes, she stopped crying and she was, she seemed better. And then distraction even helped. Like we were looking at art on the wall. That could be co-regulation and sharing your calm.
Yeah.
There was a child who had a really bad tummy ache today and struggles with digestive issues. And she was really brave, and she was at first scream crying. You know what that sounds like working at the preschool.
Yeah.
And she, her and I just sat there and we just breathed through it. And she was like, "It hurts." And I'm like, "I know, I'm so sorry." And I said, "Breathe with me." And we just took a really big deep breath like this. And she did like 5 of those, and then she like forgot about the pain in a sense. And so I think that today is, just, it's ironic this is what we're talking about today, but it's been very helpful for me to remember that sometimes I don't have to have all the words. I can kind of just be there with them and breathe through it, or hold them, and snuggle time helps, and distraction, squishy toys, soft blankets, that all regulates their nervous system. And that really helped me today, so you don't always have to have the words, I think, is a big piece. You don't have to research this for hours. It's just as simple as creating a space for them to feel what they're feeling and just being neutral and calm,
Yeah.
So that's something that's helped me get through today.
I love that. I think that's really good tips for parents and teachers too. I know that sometimes I feel like I need to have more words with the kids, or if I need to do something, like you're
Mhm.
crying, you're like sometimes screaming, falling on the ground, and I just don't know what to do. And then I have to remind myself that just being calm and having that, connectedness with them, and using that tone, and also the touch, the connection,
Mhm.
that is what they need. That is doing so much, and it's just a really good reminder. And I'm just really glad you shared that, for our parents and teachers and caregivers out there, and professionals. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
a really good thing to remember. I think one of the things though that sometimes we run up against is sometimes kids being so upset and telling you to go away
yeah,
and screaming. So then you can't provide that calm in that capacity of rubbing the back and being close, because you're just going to aggravate them even more. Um, Speaking of anecdotes, that's kind of what we faced today in one of our classrooms. Was a child was so dysregulated, and we tried along the way, and this child was just continuously pushing staff away. And so the way that we share our calm, or that I was able to share my calm in that moment, was to ensure that he was safe where he was at, but then to also just say to him, asked him if he wanted to have me close or if he wanted to be alone.
yeah,
And through it saying, go away, I want to be alone, and letting him know that's okay, you can be alone there, know that I'm right here when you're ready.
yeah,
And that's another way that we can share our calm, instead of becoming upset or trying to invade their space when they're clearly telling us that they don't want us there, because doing that is going to escalate the situation even more. So
right.
thank you. Those are great points that you both talked about too. And I thought that was another one to share today, because it does. This Friday seems to be just a day of co-regulation for us all. So I think it's pretty convenient that we're talking about this topic today.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. You're right. Every child is an individual. And I think you also have to take that into consideration and think about what their individual needs are in that situation. Like right now, it may bug you if I try to get you to talk to me.
Right.
Your tooth hurts. But in that situation, maybe I just need to stand near you and let you know I'm here for you, and and you're
Exactly.
safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
And I think, on that note of talking about us being calm in the moments when children aren't, that can take a lot of energy.
Mhm.
That can be a lot. I think of our parents out there, you have a lot of moments where you're trying to be calm, hold it together so that you can help your child with whatever feelings or situations that are happening that are causing some of the big feelings or the meltdowns. And so I think it's important to remember that we need to fill our cups too. We're filling our child's cup and we're taking care of them, but we also need to take care of ourselves. And I know for me personally, sometimes when I just feel drained, it's been a long day, a hot shower helps. It makes my body feel more calm. It helps me feel more regulated,
Mhm.
and it's just taking some space for myself to just think, process, and fill my cup.
Yeah, and for me, it's definitely a walk fills my
Mhm.
cup.
Yeah. So I've got a couple things throughout the day. A nice cup of coffee really gets me nice and
Mhm.
just kind of recenters. As silly as that may sound, it is true. But we face it in our work life, at home, in the midst where I'm more likely to respond emotionally than I do at work, because they're my kids and everything. I really try to implement, like, when I start to feel that way because things aren't going the way I was hoping to, I really tried to implement a 5-minute timeout for myself. So
Yeah.
whether that is just stepping outside on the porch for 5 minutes, or just a quick walk out to the garden and back, that is one that I really enjoy. But it can also be just like going in your bedroom and closing the doors for 5 minutes, taking a deep breath, and coming back to it. I think a lot of us will find that, with coworkers, or in our case, we work with children, we're less likely to respond in that emotional state, and we're more likely to have that calm. But when we're at home with our own children and our own family members, sometimes we're more likely to respond in an emotional fashion, and we may need to implement those cup filling or those moments of mindfulness, or just stepping away for a few minutes to kind of regroup and then step back into the situation.
Yeah, agreed.
I'm thinking, like, as you're saying, step away, sometimes you can't step away, but you still need a break. I think of, like, if you need to have eyes on your children, but you still need some quiet for a minute, like to have us maybe music for, give yourself a minute with some headphones maybe, and just
Absolutely.
a song you enjoy for a couple of minutes, just to kind of give yourself some space. Might be an option. So
yeah,
a good little tip about that is Spotify or Apple Music. They have playlists called Calm, and it can be like piano, or it could just be a nice repetitive beat, and things like that could help too.
Yeah.
And those are things that we can use to implement with our kids too. We can start to use those strategies with them too, and work that in.
Yeah.
What a great topic today.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Mariana. That was great. We really love having you. And I do have a sad announcement, everybody. So this is Michelle's last coffee with the consultants.
Yeah.
She got a promotion, which we're super happy for her, but she'll be stepping away. But on a happy note, Mariana and Linda will be joining me to help me bring lots of awesome parenting tips and tricks to you. But we will really miss you, Michelle.
I'll be sure to join in at some point.
Well, we hope so. We hope you come and visit.
Just to pop in.
Yes. And if anybody
not
out
going
there,
far.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm not.
That's true. And if any of you out there, if you have questions for us, or you want to know more information, please go to info@thefloridacenter.org, and we'll be happy to get in contact with you and provide you with more information. And we look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.